good morning guys. This morning I want to talk about maintenance. Okay, so it's a sore subject with a lot of people, or certainly a lot of investors, when they have to spend money on the property or tenants leave and they get a bill for a couple of $1,000s to do something to the property, or sometimes even more, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to renovate a property. So I just wanted to touch on the point because I think as investors, we have to understand the risks. And I've done a video on the different risks involved in buying an investment property. Number one, maintenance. Number two, vacancy. They're the two main risks that would eat into any potential return that you're going to get on your investment property. But let's cover maintenance. So, and the reason I want to do the call this morning is I had a call with a client last night, and he's had a property for I think a year and a half, two tenants in place, a duplex, and the tenants have left, and he needs to spend a substantial amount of money on the property. So he needs to spend, I think, $8,000 or $9,000 on renovating the property, new paint, new carpets, new blinds. Well, this is what the management company is suggesting that he does to get some great new tenants in place and also a higher rent as well. So the client not that he wasn't happy, but he just wanted to talk to me about it. So I had a call with him last night, and I explained to him, you know, number one, it's a risk. Or not a risk, it's as an investor, we should always accept the fact that at some point in the future, if we buy a rental property to rent out, you're gonna have to put money into it. You're gonna have to maintain it. That's one of the joys of buying an investment property, whether it's in the UK, the US, Europe, anywhere. So I was explaining to Steve, who was from Canada, last night, and I said, Steve, what you have to remember is, number one, you are getting $750 per unit. That's the first point. And the management company is now saying, if you spend this money on the property, we can achieve $950 to $1,000 per unit. It's a duplex in Glenville, I think, in Cleveland. So you're gonna get an additional $400 to $500 per month. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when you bought the property, Steve, it wasn't a renovated property. So you paid for a property that, okay, was in decent condition, two tenants in place, they paid rent for the last year and a half, I think 15 or 16 months. But it wasn't renovated. And if you were to have bought a renovated property then, the price would have been a lot higher because you pay more for a renovated property than just a normal rent-ready property. So by spending $8,000, $9,000 or $10,000, whatever the invoice is, to get both units really nice, ready for new tenants, is adding value to your property. So you're investing in your investment. So the property is going to be worth more. So it's like moving money from one bank to another bank. It's like when you buy a property, you take money out of the bank and you invest it into the property. So it's the same thing, you're just adding to your investment. So I think you have to look at that, and I think a lot of clients or investors, when they have to put money into it, they feel bad about it, but the bottom line is, you're increasing the value on your property by adding money to it. And, you know, obviously I had a good chat with Steve last night, and he agreed at the end, and he could see the clear picture of how investments work and how the risks involved, and maintenance is one of those risks. So I just wanted to touch on it this morning, and maintenance is not a bad thing. In fact, I think it's great that he's putting $8,000 or $9,000 into his property, because number one, it's going to be worth more money, which it is already, even the way that it is, because I think he only paid $55,000 or $60,000 for it a year and a half ago. And number two, you're going to achieve a higher rent as well. So I think it's great. Steve was happy. He's going to do the work on his property. But I just wanted to give you my take on maintenance. It's a sore subject with some clients. Oh, I've got to put money into the property. Nobody likes putting money into their property, don't get me wrong. I don't like it when I have to do some work on a property, or plumbing on a property, or whatever. But it's part of the joys of buying a house. So we have to accept it as investors, and we move on. So I just thought I'd share that with you this morning. Have a great day. Website above.